All right, should be live again. Sorry about that, folks. You're gonna need to. Hopefully, you saw the other link go up. This is what happens when you don't have a producer to do the things for you. So, already looks like I'm good to go this time. Yeah, I'm live now on YouTube. I just got the notifications. Just making sure that I have everything all pulled up. Because believe me, there's a ton for me to go over, so I just want to get right into it, but I just need to make sure I have my notes. So I'm pulling up my OneNote, taking a sip of my water too. Alrighty. This would technically be Tech Talk episode 8. I guess I should start off by saying that I announced last week that I was not going to do a Tech Talk. And then it turns out that I ended up doing about 4 videos, depending on which platform you were watching on. So for those of you here on YouTube watching this live, I did 3 videos with respects to Freedom Phone. And I'm going to go over them in the sequence they were published, but not exactly in the way I recorded them. See, the lengthier one, which is probably the longest one of them all, that one was, it was even cut down a bit, but that one was my actual raw reaction when I saw the news. Now, after I had recorded that, there was an advert that came on with Eric Feynman from Freedom Phone. And he made a pitch of the phone, a 2.5 minute ad that started making the rounds on conservative news sites. I saw that. I'm like, okay, this is just making matters worse because it's not responding to the very things that people should see. So after that, I recorded my reaction on that one. That's the video I published first. That's the one that made, seriously, I'm humbled, over 10,000 impressions. It's been incredible across all the socials, including video platforms. A combined view of about 5,000. That's wow. That's compared to everything I've ever done. That's an instant hit for me. So I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to all of you that have watched it, whether you like my video or not. The point is you took some time out of your day to check it out. So with that, it's drawn a lot of attention. It also threw everything for a loop. I had a schedule that I was on. Next thing I know, I'm basically doing a bunch of tech videos for the month of July. So I'm like, you know what? July is almost over. So I'm focusing on just moving things around for the rest of my schedule. So there's about a week left or so. So I'm going to be doing tech-centric episodes for the rest of July. And August, what I intended to post is not going to be there anymore. It looks like I have another shuffle, and that's going to be more along the lines of the recall election happening here in California, because we have the official date, which I believe is September 14th. I'll double check on that for those of you that noticed. No, I have been covering that. So I will be covering more of that as we get nearer to that date. I have not made any endorsements, nor do I intend to, but I'll see how things are as we get near the finish line. The point is we got to get rid of Gavin Newsom. So we'll see how far that goes. Now, with respects to the fallout, before I get into responding to all your comments with respects to the whole Freedom Phone thing, yeah, I've been super busy over the weekend responding to people, being a lot of questions, because it's not so much about the Freedom Phone anymore. It's been just over a week since the news broke, and I immediately started covering this thing, and I started making the rounds everywhere. But still nothing from Eric Feynman. And I'm not referring to the open letter that I posted. I'm referring to just anything in general in response to client concerns, consumer concerns, to at least update the Freedom Phone website. It's still the same as when it was published. There was shortly after that, there was a launch party. Eric Feynman was interviewed by the Gateway Pundit. They were talking about it. He was showing off how the packaging in which the Freedom Phone arrives, there's a case and whatever, showed the phone, they didn't turn it on, if I recall correctly, but he said that these were flying off the shelves. I thought they shipped in August. So I don't know what that meant. Is it a bunch of pre-orders, which I believe, because all these news sites were pushing. He's like, you should get it. You should get it. You have conservative influencers. Yeah, you should get it. You should get it. Notice that a lot of them are quiet right now. So I'm going to be pointing that out. A lot of them are quiet, and a lot of these conservative medias that I trusted that were pushing the phone, I have not seen an advertisement go up since probably Friday. I'm sure you refresh enough times on the page, it'll pull one up, but they're not front and center in this device like they did last week. So one news outlet did respond to me, and I will get to it here. For those of you that this is traditional, this is the only ad I put in there, which is myself. I'm plugging in my stuff. This is the www.teamsegovia.com, where I have a lot of more shows that are available here. there's an episode that already went up on YouTube that's actually going to be delayed for the podcast on purpose, because my podcast is every Monday. That's why I try to keep everything aligned. But those of you subscribed here, hit the notification bell wherever you're watching, making sure you never missed out on one of these videos or when they go up. So I'm going to keep it here on my page for a little bit, because I have my tablet next to me where I have the other platforms. I have YouTube and Gab that I'm going to be showing all of you with respect to the comments that I'm going to be responding to. And the ones that I'm not going to be showing you, because they're pretty quick, these are, it wasn't as much as activity as it was on these, are BitChute and Rumble. So like I said, it's been a very eventful time, and I will highlight my favorite comment. As a matter of fact, let me give a shout out to that comment right now. My favorite comment of all, which is unrelated to the phone itself, and what I posted, is from Amir Zal. He got a heart from me on this one. It's with respect to my Freedom Phone reaction. Is it legit or a scam? He put a Christian who isn't a hypocrite. Now I've seen everything. I salute you, sir. So I know some my friends and family that read that comments like, why did you give it a heart? It sounds insulting to Christendom. Like, well, I use this as an example. The last preaching I did to my Spanish church before I transferred to an English church with my wife, because she doesn't speak Espanol. We went over to an English church. The last preaching I did there, I did it in Spanish too. I was talking to generations of people that seen me grow, born and raised in the church, and I told them, like, there's people in this church that have an impression of me. That impression being, he's a model son, he's obedient, he listens to his parents, he's a hard worker, and studies really hard. Okay. Then I said, then there's the other group that say that Andres is very mean, he's very vocal, he's rude, brash, angry all the time. And I said, you are all right. That's because it has to do with perspective. And this is why some of these things don't get to me as much anymore. Only in trusted circles where you don't expect a knife to come from one of them and stab you in the back. Other than that, these things, they don't bother me anymore. People have been insulting me in the comments on other videos and stuff. It's like, look, I'm not going to lose sleep over something that I don't know this person. And honestly, I don't care. Throwing an insult at me, a personal attack, and they don't know me, and I know better for myself. I have enough issues dealing with myself, against myself. The man in the mirror is the one that is my worst enemy. So you can't do any worse than that, the man in the mirror. So with that being said, it's called perspective. And that's why I took that comment to my favorite comment that I say to mean something. It actually means something to me, because it's like, well, I took it to mean someone holding his own his feet to the fire. Well, yeah, because I'm only going to be pointing one side. I'm not going to turn my criticism towards this side. So yeah, I'm an equal opportunity offender. That's one way to summarize it, I suppose. But that's the way I took it. That's why I liked it. And yeah, I don't want to, I guess, dwell on that too much, but let's proceed, shall we? So again, I said I'm leaving it on my website. Let me just get to the comments, starting with BitChute. They responded to my open letter. So if you're watching on YouTube, only 3 episodes made it with respect to the Freedom Phone. The last one I did was the open letter. It's just me reading it. So I posted to the community tab here on YouTube, but other places that don't allow for that, I put the open letter there, me reading it out loud. That was it. So someone said, Dino Crypt said, the Freedom Phone is a marketing gimmick and behind a competition. I wouldn't buy the junk Freedom Phone. There are other phones that are privacy centered in the market already. You just have to know where to find the phones. Yes, you get a thumbs up from me, and that's the only comment that is worth responding to there. Now, Rumble, I thought was dead in the water for me. I wasn't really interested in posting there anymore because I felt they were throttling me. That all changed last week, and the viewership there has been tremendous. So, like, thank you. You got my attention again. So on my video, the first one that I posted, my reaction to the Freedom Phone release, there's some comments there. One of them is from Now It's Our Turn. Says, thanks for posting out those questions. I work in tech and I had the same questions. It is, if this truly is what it claims to be, you'd think it would have been presented better. The whole thing is hyperbole. Yes, and I give that one what is called the rumble there. Another one says, the man with the plan says, this billionaire is just grifting on a fad. The phone is a $130 mass-produced piece of junk from China scam. Until there's something that contradicts this, I agree. And this one's from Rule 3216 says, like it's just some kind of Calyx OS, but they're selling it with the hardware. I'm curious if it can run apps that have monthly subscriptions like Strava. I know some degoogled ROMs have trouble running apps that have subscriptions, which is a deal breaker for me. And also I need specs too. So I actually touched on this a little bit in the previous episode that I posted. For some of you, it might have even been today, depending on which platform you're watching. That episode was with respects to, actually, let me show you here so I could switched over. All things Android open source project, degoogled Linux and BlackBerry. And opening shot is actually, it was a visual gag that I did because people think they're masking themselves up and hiding their identity. But if you can see, there's a shirt with my name on it. The whole point is like I'm doing everything I can to make sure nobody knows who I am, but you're still announcing who you are. That's how some people react on like oh yeah, I don't want the government spying on me. So then why are you letting everybody know where you are, geotagging, who you're with, location, places? Oh, I saved 10% on this, or I can get whatever this when I check into the store. You're telling everyone where you are. Who cares if you're using a VPN? You're still announcing and you're still logged into Facebook, Instagram, and all those mobile apps. Come on, excuse me, you're not fooling anybody. I'm sorry if I just coughed in the microphone. That was a dry cough. It's not one of those coughs, okay? All right, let me proceed. I wish I could. I was quicker to that mute button. All right, this next one's also from Rumble. This is from Tech Talk episode 6, the Freedom Phone. I was not going to do a Tech Talk last week, and I ended up doing 3. Okay. This one, now it's our turn again. It says, so much about this phone is vague as hell, and yet Gateway pundit Candace Owens and now Dinesh D'Souza, they should have done their homework first. Yes, totally agreed. I actually shared this to Dinesh D'Souza's post on Rumble, and I haven't heard him talk about it ever since. He did show the phone, but it's not enough for me. This is not their expertise, okay? Look, I'm not going to criticize the intelligence of people that I know in some respects are smarter than me. This is not one of those areas. I know what I'm talking about, which is why my Instagram and some other socials you might have noticed, for those of you that follow me there, in Instagram, I posted up a post that's in response to all of this, all the criticism I was getting. I posted a scene. It's like a screen grab of The Big Lebowski. So Walter responding to Donnie, "Shut up, Donnie. You're out of your element." I know I'm self-censoring myself there because of where I am there, but that's the scene. You know what I'm talking about, then you know. All right, so this is from Just the News. They did respond to me, and I'm so happy that they did because that means someone was paying attention. Just the News was one of those that they had changed all the banners and backgrounds on all their posts and landing page at Just the News. They were arguably the loudest one pushing this phone compared to other conservative sites. And they had all these posts everywhere. They were highlighting that, oh yeah, John Solomon interviewed Eric Feynman. They were talking about it, this and that. And I didn't see that interview. So they responded with the link to that interview. They said, here is the link to the podcast. Thank you for your interest. So Just the News, thank you for your response. And I did respond to you there on Rumble as well as a reply. I did take time to listen to the podcast, and just as it was with every single other outlet that was speaking to Eric Feynman, it's like all of you are starry-eyed about what this dude has accomplished. What he's accomplished has been in the world of Bitcoin. That has nothing to do with creating hardware or mobile services and operating systems. That doesn't mean he can't invest in it, absolutely. But taking claim that he built the phone, he built the software, built an app store, and is pushing it out there, and he's giving cuts at the profits to election integrity. Too many red flags, too many questions. And again, the listing is still bare bones. So no information there, no true responses. And it's not my credibility at stake here. It's yours. So do your homework, just like you do your investigative journalism with everything else. Investigate this dude. You guys have him in studio at times. Hold his feet to the fire instead of being like, wow, look what you accomplished. Spying doesn't just happen at the software level. It happens at the hardware level. Okay, last one on this, so I can go to my screen share and share with all y'all. This is the last one from Tech Talk episode 7 comments. Coffee Talk Girl. I like that name, by the way. I do coffee breaks on Instagram. So for those of you that are interested and are on Instagram, follow me at the Segovia. I do coffee breaks every week. At least I try to, live also, just to talk about random things. Okay, so this one, Coffee Talk Girl. I started having my doubts about it, and I came across your video first on YouTube channel, then on Rumble. I felt like it was a confirmation that something is just not right and it needs to be investigated further before purchasing. Thank you. Smiley face. Thank you for watching. Now it's our turn. Hey, this is like 3 in a row, I think. I have Ubuntu Touch on a Nexus 5. This was an old vanilla flavored Android phone I easily installed using UB ports. It works great and receives regular updates. This is my Freedom Phone. And yes, I did respond to that. Yes, that is a legendary device. So yeah, you can get more life out of these devices. My goodness, man. I've been getting a lot of spam calls from such an area, and they don't leave messages, but they keep trying, and they just did that right now. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. Okay, so now I'm going to respond to the comments on YouTube. So for those of you, I want to make sure the feed's still up. I got multiple monitors here. So it looks like I am. And for those of you that are watching live, thank you. Okay, so, and I don't know how long this is going to be, hence alive. I don't intend to edit it, so warts and all, there they are. So I filtered the comments here based on the top comments. And I'm going to start with the first video I posted up. And this is the video that I recorded after my initial reaction. So I try not to overlap certain things. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with, not mine, but this one from Susan James. Very good points. I'm going to sit back and watch this one. Yes, I gave that one a heart. What about the Librem 5? They designed their phone from scratch. I actually did an entire episode just before I did the live. Depending on when you're watching this, you could actually check that one out. I discussed the Librem 5. I discussed Ubuntu Touch, whatever I know about it, which is very little. The Googled phones, whatever's left of BlackBerry and other things. I do discuss that there. And also I touch upon this whole made in the USA versus made in overseas type, I guess, ideal. Because some people, like, they're really in that it has to be made in the USA. Okay, put your money where your mouth is, because you get an idea. The Librem phone gives you two options. There's one that's made with overseas parts and the other one made in the USA. And they're very transparent about it, which is more than I can say for Freedom Phone. So you can check that out for yourself at prism.com, I think it is. You can just type in Librem 5. I am interested, but they got a very long wait time when it comes to this. And it's a Linux device. So to each their own if they're interested in trying out a whole new operating system for themselves versus whatever's left here. No, let me just expand on this a little bit. I just find it super interesting how it was the mobile OS wars. And it looks like we're back at that, Harmony OS does exist. For those who are not familiar with that, after basically Google stopped allowing the licensing for Huawei Android devices to continue, Huawei could not install Google Play services on their phones, which to some might actually be a good thing. Oh, it's already the Google Android device with the greatest specs available. But it's still a Huawei device, which is not a knock on them per se if they weren't like this with the CCP. But those devices are amazing. The campus over there is just like, look, I got nothing bad to say about Huawei as a company itself. The politics, that's a different story. But this thing is wow. It's pretty incredible what they have there. And the devices, the only one I ever really been able to get my hands on was the Huawei Watch. I think it was just called the Huawei Watch. That was the first and only Android Wear device that I kept. That's the one I do miss. I thought it was great, but then I switched over to Samsung wearables. And if you think about it, we're back to those mobile OS wars because Huawei is not a slouch, man. These guys are the second, if not the first, well, after Samsung, largest smartphone manufacturer in the world. And if you have that much clientele that cannot get Android apps over there, and you force this giant company to make its own OS, well, guess what? Now there's three. When you really think about it, that would be iOS, Android, and now Harmony OS, which in some respects can run Android. Almost sounds like Linux devices being able to use an Android runtime system to run Android apps as well. Another one is, oh my goodness, what's that other one? Oh my goodness. There was another mobile operating system. If I remember, I'll get back to it. All right, next comment comes from Claudia Fox. Oh, I'm sorry. The one asked the question about what about the Librium 5? That was from allergic to Kool-Aid. Sorry, I don't usually snort when I laugh at it. Look, I'm not saying this is how he meant it or this person meant it, but this is how I took it. When they say if you're parroting whatever the rank and file in politics want you to, is because they say, oh, you drank the Kool-Aid. So allergic to Kool-Aid, that's how I'm taking it. I come from the political sphere, so that's how I take it. Okay, Claudia Fox, I love this phone. I will buy 2 more for my children. Jonathan responded to Claudia Fox, please don't. It's literally a $140 cheap Chinese Android phone with a new skin being sold for $500. Umidi A9 Pro smartphone. You should be more concerned about this phone spying on you, since there were literally no given specifications. Big tech censorship exists, but it's somewhat inevitable and overblown by right wing. There's more to this. Hold on. Media, in my opinion. Just don't be a jerk and you'll be fine in most cases. Well, Jonathan, I'll respond to the last part. It's overblown by right-wing media, not when the administration admitted the quiet part out loud. So a lot of us have been preaching about this for quite a long time, and not necessarily because it's political stuff. So that's the only thing I take issue of this whole thing. It's not being overblown, but it's definitely being screamed about louder nowadays because, yes, it is happening. And this whole cancel culture stuff too. But with respect to what Claudia Fox was saying, well, you know what? Still, I don't think I responded. Oh my goodness, I got something blocking here. So, Jonathan, if I haven't given you a thumbs up, which I don't think I did, I will. And I don't know if I'm being throttled here, but let me know in the comment section if you can, for those that are watching live, if the feed is coming in a little pixelated. I hope not, because I think there's some major traffic going on at this time. And if it is, then I'll just take this down and re-upload it later when I get from the archives. So I can't. Oh wait, I said can. Here we go. Thumbs up from me, Jonathan. Okay, so Claudia Fox, I love this phone. I will buy 2 more for my children. My question to you is this: how can you love it if it hasn't shipped yet? It ships in August per the website. So you have it already? Which do you have if it hasn't shipped? So no, I don't believe you have it. We need proof of life, which we don't. Okay, on to the next YouTube video post. This was the full-length reaction video to the Freedom Phone. This was Tech Talk episode 6, the Freedom Phone. And I did pin some of my comments with respect to the follow-ups to all this. And before this video went up, because I recorded it early in the morning when it happened, but it was the last one I posted at night because I posted the reaction video first. I did see Candace Owens' IG live. I didn't see it live, but I saw it live and she showed off the phone. So I'm like, okay, at least we get to see the thing live, because Eric Feynman's ad, he just had the screen off. So now here we go. Matthew said, hello. I gave him a thumbs up. Someone named Andy MJ asked, what phone should I buy that's good and not from Dragonland, which means not built in China? To which I responded, I like Sony devices. They are usually under the radar, built in Japan, but double check. May vary from model to model. The bootloader is unlockable and supported by various custom ROMs to give it more life. I haven't gotten one because most that I liked don't run on Verizon's networks. So Matthew 70371 responds, fancy. I wasn't sure what fancy part responded to. Probably the Sony thing. But yeah, I acknowledge you. Okay. Okay, look, there's some usernames here that scream politics to me. So if I take it one way that's not meant to be, well, to each their own. Again, perspective. You ain't black. Says the entirety of the comment. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And if you don't know where that's from, you should. You ain't black says, finally, a non-based video about this phone, just listing facts. And yes, you got a heart from me. This one's from Archaeologist. Thanks for you doing your research and sharing it, plus what you know as a tech guy. I got to warn everyone, it's sad because it would have been a great thing, great concept, heart. And I responded, thank you for watching. DJY says, Freedom Phone is legit. Don't let soft liberals like this one tell you it's not. Let me tell you, I've been called many things in my life. Liberal was not one of them. But hey, I could add that to the list now. And Tan Tran responds to that by saying, I kind of thought the French were smarter than this, to which Richard Cart piles on, Freedom Phone is a lie. Please rewatch the video carefully. I am a conservative and a techie too. What he's saying makes absolute sense. Any questions? Want to debunk the claims made here? Please do so, and I'll reply. I want you to understand that this whole thing is a scam, and I don't want you buying into it. And you got a heart from me. Javier Aravena says, it's a scam. And you get a thumbs up from me. Saxon Cody. The point is that Google and Apple no longer control the operating system or the App Store and cannot control what apps you choose to put on it. Sounds like freedom to me. All right, so this is one I didn't get to respond to that I did want to respond to. So I'm going to take a moment here to respond to you, Saxon Cody. I totally agree with what is being promised. And the product is promising something. It's just that who's behind it? If it is freedom, it would be something that's open source, something that maybe can be licensed if it is a custom software that was built, licensed to be able to purchase for other people to install on their existing hardware. But instead, we don't know technical specifications. Like I said before, the software is not the only way they can spy on you. They can spy on you also through the hardware. So how do we know? How can we trust it? You want to see something that's as transparent as possible? And there are people that are upfront about it. Prism with their Librium phone, the Librium 5 specifically, they are being very specific about where and how they're sourcing their product and what they're promising you and giving you that much power over your hardware, not just software. So all of this is being promised by Freedom Phone with nothing to show for. So no, this thing's it reads like a scam. And until it's proven otherwise, it is. So that's my response there, Saxon Cody. The Daily Rant. There is an obvious lack of transparency on what this phone really is. Until it is proven trustworthy, I wouldn't be an early adopter. And there I gave a thumbs up. Tan Tran. Word to the wise. No place is too smart to have dumb people. I didn't see this response. Word to the wise. No place is too smart to have dumb people. Is someone philosophizing here, Tan Tran? I don't exactly understand the response. It could be, as I'm trying to think about it here under pressure, it could be that what you're saying is that some people can be too smart for their own good, that they come across as dumb. That could be. So yeah, and like I said, here is my favorite comment of all. A Christian who is a hypocrite now, I've seen everything. I salute you, sir, and I did give a heart to that. Gonzo York says, it's made in China. There it is. Okay, that's the last comment I'll read there. There's actually, look, I'll just chime in on this real quick. With respect to what Tan Tran said, that phrase almost sounds like an actual Bible verse that says that they became too smart for their own good, that they don't know anything. Yeah, it is possible for you to know so much that isn't so, and that's kind of how I'm taking that comment to mean. That's just me. Alrighty, again, filtered by top comments. This one's in my last video that was here on YouTube with respects to the Freedom Phone. This is Tech Talk episode 7, where I highlight what this thing possibly is, which is the Odysee A9 Pro smartphone. Tony Moreno says, interesting to see that my phone is supposedly worth $500. I'm going to give a thumbs up to this one. And I like, hey, that means you got a smashing deal, right? Right, Tony? Yeah, okay. Sabrina Deep says, a really good look at this phone. I was interested in this phone from a crypto point of view. I think she said, I am not American, so the politics around a phone like this are not so important to me, but of course I am interested in a phone where I could remain anonymous. I would have to stick to buying a second good phone and stripping out Google for now, because I have all the same questions that you do. After seeing your first video, I would have hoped they reached out to you with some answers. Seemed like they're just saying all the things people want to hear to make a quick buck. Pretty disappointing, but maybe somebody better will see the buzz and build an Android device that could protect our privacy. If it was legit, I wouldn't mind paying double of what the Freedom Phone was asking. So Sabrina, I'm going to do this here live since you expressed that you were interested in something. Let me respond to this. Here are other alternatives that promise freedom. Oops. See what I mean? I can't respond to all these like under pressure. Freedom and I'm going to butcher that next one, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not using the other one. Paste. Oh, are you kidding me? I didn't even copy. There it is. Okay, and I gave a heart to this one and not a reply. Last comment, Daniel L. This is from YouTube, then I'm going to move on to Gap TV. Daniel L. I feel like there's going to be so many issues, not to mention there's no mention of trackers and incompatibility without Google Apps, G apps, or whether it's using micro G. It's super misleading and creates a false sense of security. Amen. So if you're interested in seeing some other things with respect to what do promise it, it would be this episode that I did, all things Android open source, the Google, Linux, and BlackBerry. BlackBerry. Now, Gap TV. I got a lot of play here. This is like the second most reacted to of all. And the comments, it's going to be a little harder to read with this background. Let me see if I can switch the lights here. Can I switch the lights? No, I'm going to have to go into other settings to do that. Okay, let me see what I can pull up. But let me see. This one's recent. Oh, smokes. Oh, maybe I could do this. Okay, this is going to be a lot more difficult because the text is considerably smaller. But with respect to what it's saying here, this lengthy comment was they posted a link to the Freedom Phone being that very thing, that it's a Umidiji device. So thank you for posting that. I'm sorry I can't read it all. It's really difficult to read like this with the really dark background here. Yep, as Andres says, too many unanswered questions. Seems like a great idea at the right time, but it's a scam or a plot to lure people into a false sense of security. Where's the beef? Yep. This other one says, or who said that? Randy G said that. So this one's from Frankie Jesus War. Or you could just get a Linux phone that is already on the market and deal with and not deal with Eric and his sketchy company. The two I know of are called PinePhone and Librium, but don't share your IP address. Both are smartphones and both are way below the cost of an Apple. That much is true. Oh, this is actual direct quote from the actual website. He posted the article. Okay, so I don't have to read the article. Okay, that was my first video, my reaction to the Freedom Phone launch. So the next one up was Tech Talk episode 6, which is me discussing the Freedom Phone itself. And thank you so much to everybody that's watched and subscribed across all the platforms. It's been a humbling experience. This is from Anubis. China-made cheap junk being branded as a privacy phone. It's BS and runs Google's Android OS, and leaves a link to the Daily Beast, which is one of the big articles that was discussing and breaking this down not too long after the news broke about this thing. This one's from Edgardo Sosa. Did you see the Freedom Phone OS logo? It's the communist fist. I don't trust the phone. I showed that on that video. Some of you might have seen this. Freedom Phone. No. Freedom OS. No. Yeah, here it is. GitHub. That's what I mean. No conservative in their right mind's going to want that because of what that fist looks like, where it's from, where it originated from. Yeah. Okay. This one doesn't even have a letter or a username. Get real. It's a scam. Unless Freedom Phone built and installed its own cellular towers all over the world, it is every bit as vulnerable as any other cellular device is to monitoring. Yep. Alrighty, listen, I'm getting to the end here. This is the last video, folks, and I don't know how long I've gone, but thank you for those of you that have watched all this way. That's why it's live. It's easier to just go with the flow. Okay, this one has a few more comments besides my own. This one's from ST Watch. It says, I was asking myself about why they didn't provide specs for the phone. I tried to look for the Freedom OS and found a GitLab with the socialist fist on the logo. Yeah, that's the one I shared. This one from Michael. I bought my de-Googled phone from eFoundation. They use Aurora App Store. Okay. This one is from Frankie Luntz Taupe. Freedom Phone's a joke. Candace Owens needs to step way the F back from it. Same for Jack Posobiec. They're both shilling for a phone that is, for all intents and purposes, crap. Self-censoring here, folks, because where I am live streaming. This one is Skip420 at Freenode, hashtag Shark. Umidigi A9 Pro is a Chinese phone, 0% freedom, 100% backdoored, using MediaTek chipset. It also does not ever turn off or go into deep sleep mode. It is a $700 700 RMB phone with Android open source ROM installed, sold for $500. RMB, is that a currency for? I don't know which countries. Okay, this is from Robert. I'd rather give Ubuntu phone a chance. Conical has their problems, but it's nowhere near Google or Apple. You want true freedom, get something not made in China that's compatible with Ubuntu phone. Okay, so that's the last of that. I got on really long, so at least I felt it was really long, but I needed to look. I didn't even get to everything. There's some other platforms that did have some comments, but these are the ones that I had to take time for because I'm across multiple different places, and you can find out where you can follow me, be on the socials, where you can connect with me, where you can watch my show, and where to listen ultimately, because I'm on way more podcast distributors, and you better believe I put my open letter on there too. So I blasted this everywhere that I could, like at least 25 different podcast distributors, I think, and 7 video platforms, and like 6 to 7 social media outlets. I was putting this everywhere. No response from Eric Feynman. I'm not asking for a response to me. I'm asking for a response to your clients, to your consumer base, the ones that are interested, and to those conservative influencers, conservative sites that continue to push this phone. Stop pushing it, or else you're going to look like you're just a shill in all this, and you guys were frauds this whole time too. So that's just my warning for all of you. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tech Talk episode. If there were streaming issues, by all means, let me know, those that have seen it, so I can take this down and just upload the archive one that was recorded in HD, so then you can see the HD version. At least I think it's HD. I was talking to StreamYard about that. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching this stuff. Check out my stuff at www.segovia.com. And I guess I'll see you on the next one.